This morning, we're going to be speaking to a man who runs a paedophile website. That's not a website for paedophiles. That's a website and a Facebook page. He's got over 50,000 followers. And on this page, they basically tell you where the pedos and the perverts are living in your neighbourhood. He's been accused of stirring up vigilante violence against these paedophiles. I think he's doing a public service. What do you think? The phone lines are red hot. You are talking about paedophilia this morning and whether we're ever going to get justice. Let's talk to Sunny. It says here very helpfully, she's a lady in Turkey. What are you doing in Turkey?
So.
Hey? What are you doing in Turkey, Sunny?
I'm living out here now.
Oh, you lucky so-and-so.
Originally, I came from London.
Well, I can hear that in your accent. Well, it's great to have you on the show, Sunny. What do you want to say this morning?
Oh, thank you. Can I say, the reason I originally went on Twitter to stand up the child sex abuse victims was there was a lovely woman that committed suicide during her trial, and the paedophiles were found guilty afterwards.
Right.
And I found it so shocking. I thought, well, the poor little kids out there, you know, they're so defenceless and everything. I've got to go on Twitter and stand up for them.
So you're standing up for the victims, stroke survivors of paedophilia. Why do you think the establishment isn't? And do you believe there has been, and there still is?
There's so many of them that are paedophiles.
Say that again.
I'm afraid there's so many paedophiles, and it's obviously been covered up for 30, 40 years. And the paedophiles in government are going to fight the people, aren't they?
So what are the people going to do about the government? And it's not just the government of the day, is it, by the look of it? It seems to be cross-party.
No, it's not just this government. You know, we are talking 30, 40 years. Very, very powerful people.
Yeah.
John Mann, the MP, says Parliament refused to accept his request to ministers on Geoffrey Dickens. Why? Don't they care about little kids being raped then?
Well,
I mean, so much for transparency and everything. I'm sorry, David Cameron, that's rubbish. Prove it. Nobody's above the law. Prove it. You're not proving it.
Okay, so what do you think about the appointment of this person now then, Butler Sloss, to do the investigation? Because there are allegations...
Yeah, well, it's not going to work. I mean, you know... Everybody in the country is up in arms about it. It's just really silly. Start again. You know, give the public what they're asking for, David Cameron. Listen to the people. He's not listening to the people. They think they can cover up a cover-up. Sorry, you can't. It's all out in the open now. It's not going to go away. Listen to the people. We want to protect our children. You know, you're not doing it. Well, do it.
And often as well, Sunny, people say it isn't the crime that you normally get caught for. It's normally the cover-up afterwards, isn't it? And you'd have thought Cameron would have understood that, and they'd want a clean slate. I mean, I'm not saying...
And it's such a crime. I mean, covering up for children being raped. How low can you get as a human being to do that? You could pay me £1 billion, and I wouldn't do that. I don't care what job you have. I'm scared about my job. I'll cover up and everything. How despicable. How low can you get?
Okay, can you see a situation in this country where we have a demonstration like they had in Belgium where thousands, tens and hundreds of thousands of people went on the street?
On the 18th of July, there's going to be a lot of people outside Parliament.
Yeah, and also...
And I hope David Cameron will be there.
Well, later on we're talking to a guy who's going to try and blockade the M25 in a couple of weeks with lorries over this. So Cameron not taking it seriously enough, in your opinion?
No, not at all.
This woman is the wrong woman to head the inquiry, in your opinion?
Oh, I think so, yes. And from what I've seen on Twitter, I don't think I've seen anybody that says, yes, she is the right person yet.
And I think that's the thing also that he's underestimated, isn't it? Or the establishment have underestimated. The growth of things like Twitter and Facebook and indeed now radio stations like this where people can talk freely, it is very much harder to keep the genie in the bottle because, you know, one could ask, why didn't the national press expose Jimmy Savile? Well, clearly he had them under control as well as having the BBC under control, as well as having the establishment, as well as being a friend of the royal family. You know, the national press need to look at themselves very closely, don't they? The established press. And
yes,
say,
and the police as well, the amount of victims that came forward.
Yeah. Good talking to you,
So the police as well, you know, authorities, governments. I mean, this to me is the biggest crime of the century. And it's out in the open now. There's no turning back. No matter what Parliament or David Cameron says, this isn't all going to go back and everybody's going to keep quiet now. So deal with it. grow a backbone, a lot of you. Deal with it.
Thank you very much.
That's my view.
Sunny, I love you. Make sure you phone me again. You're a good woman. You speak your mind, and that's what we want on Food.